Tip number 153 from the book 501 Contractor Tips. Credit card company mistakes. Let's face it, we make mistakes, they make mistakes, people make mistakes, computers make mistakes, whatever you want to call it. You can run into a problem if you're not paying attention with your credit card billing. So if you get your credit card, you're one of those people that just pays your credit card off, you don't even think about it, you got enough money, the bill comes in, you just pay it, then I've got some bad news, because you might have overpaid them once or twice by now. Now, here's actually a story that happened to me. It really wasn't a big deal, but I'm going to use the example in the book. I believe the number is $8,700. I actually wrote them a check for, let's just say $8,700 to the credit card company. That's what I owed for that month. I paid my credit cards off every month I possibly could. This was very important to me. And the credit card sent me back my next bill where I had only paid them $8.70. They had somehow messed up on the decimal, or should I say the comma, whatever in there, you know, the number was wrong. And so all we did was we called them up. They had a copy of the check. We had a copy of the check. And they took it off. They fixed it. Well, this actually happened twice. Now, you're probably thinking, you know, what was, I want to say it was $120 because that's what it says in the book here. It's been too long ago for me to actually remember. $120 is what we would have owed if we wouldn't have caught that mistake. And that might not seem like that big of a deal, you know, to some people. And to other people, it's like, absolutely not. You are not going to get an extra penny out of me. And I understand that because that's more along the lines of where I'm at, you know. I understand the credit card business. I understand how they make their money. I understand how people abuse it, how they get caught up in this. And there's a small chance that, let's just say this actually happened to 100 people. There's a good chance that at least 5% of them did nothing about it and just paid their credit card. And this is actually another one of those instances where companies, insurance companies, even credit card people, I'm not suggesting they made this mistake on purpose, but if they did, there's a good chance they could actually make a lot of money on something like this, because a lot of people don't pay attention to their finances. And that's exactly what I'm saying here. You, as a contractor, you have got to look at your credit card statements if you're using credit cards and make sure that everything is right. You've got to have the information, which is what this is going to require you to do. Track every single time you use that credit card. Write it down, put it in a book somewhere, have it on your computer, and then when the credit card bill comes in, check all these off and make sure that you have everything correctly. They haven't overcharged you for something, because they make mistakes. I've had them charge me, put items that I never even purchased on there before. So, and again, I would imagine all of the credit card mistakes that I've had to deal with in my lifetime would have been less than $1,000. This is probably what it would have came out to. That I would, if I just would have paid everything, you know, I would have paid somebody an extra $1,000, you know, for them not doing anything except for making a mistake on their credit card bill. And so that's it. I mean, that's it in a nutshell. If you don't really mind paying extra money, then it's really not going to be necessary for you to examine your bills. But if you're somebody who understands that you can use that money to make more money, or you don't want to get ripped off, then you're going to need to track everything that you purchase and then review and double check all of your credit card bills. So, I mean, you know, they double enter things. I mean, I could go on and on about the problems I've had with credit card bills and credit card companies. And it's going to require you as a contractor, as a business owner, it's going to require some of your time, even though this was not your mistake. It is not your fault. It is going to require you to keep track. You are responsible for all of your expenses, everything that you buy. They should be, but really it's not you're not their biggest concern. They are their biggest concern. You are your biggest concern. So in order to really get the gist of what I'm actually saying here, you've got to understand that this is your money. You've got to keep track of it. Somebody else isn't going to keep track of it. And again, I'm not saying you can't hire somebody to keep track of your money. Yeah, you can, but you'd better keep track of them. You know, like I said, it all goes back to you. It's your money. If you hire an accountant to review your credit card statements and they make a mistake, it's not going to cost them money. It's going to cost you money. You've got to review this information yourself eventually. You've got to be the one. You're the one who's ultimately responsible. And if you don't, then by now you should understand the consequences of these actions. You're going to have to expect to have some problems and lose some money every once in a while.